But his lips aren't moving.
He's muted, but it doesn't look like he can hear us. Looks like we're muted as well.
All right, we'll let the staff work on that. Hopefully, we'll get Jeff with us. And from our planning department, our planning director, Mr. Brian Zacchelli, is joining us. Members, we have received 8 sets of minutes from April 10th, April 24th, May 8th, May 22nd, June 12th, June 26th, July 24th, and August 28th. If there's no further discussion, I'm going to make a motion on 6 of them. I'm going to admit April 10th and May 8th, as I believe that still requires some edits that I will feed back to the planning department. Is there any further discussion on the minutes of, and I'll summarize again. So we're going to make a motion to accept April 24th, May 22nd, June 12th, June 26th, July 24th, and August 28th. Any further discussion? Can someone make a motion?
So moved.
And I get a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Jeff, can I get a high sign or an aye out of you? It sounds like we still don't have
My
Jeff.
guess is that means we're not feeding any volume out.
Right, trying to figure this out.
Okay, so still some technical difficulties.
Okay, well, hopefully, when we get to hear this case, we'll get that squared away. And we only have one case on the docket tonight, so I'll be real brief with what we look for here. Obviously, we're on Danvers Cable. I asked the applicant after the clerk reads your application that you go up, you speak clearly into the microphone, identify yourself, tell us what you'd like to do. And when your presentation's complete, I'll turn it over to the board. We'll ask questions of you. At that point, we will open it up for public comment, if there's anyone here that wishes to be heard on that. After that, we'll close public comment, and then we will come back and deliberate. We ask that we're not interrupted during our deliberations, and you'll get to hear how the board feels on the case and which way the vote is going
I
for
should
you.
be able to unmute.
Tonight, I believe we're looking for both a special permit and a finding. So on the special permit,
No,
it
can't.
requires a supermajority, and the finding just requires a simple majority. And hopefully, at some point, we'll get Jeff to be able to chime in with us as well. So with that said, I believe we're all set, and Mr. Clerk, if we could please read our one and only case tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our first and only case is 144 High Street, zoned R1. Request for a finding under Section 3.11.B.1 of the Danvers Zoning Bylaw to allow an extension of an existing non-conforming structure through the addition of living space and a deck without expanding the footprint. Additionally, the applicant is requesting to modify a previous special permit decision that was issued in 1989, docket CC-2280, to allow for exterior changes to be made to the structure consistent with the finding request above. Request is made by Michael and Ellen Fennell, docket 23-5035.
Hi there, whoever's here, if they could come to the podium and present what you'd like to do.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi.
My name is John Fennell. I'm here representing my parents, Mike and Ellen, who own the property at 144 High Street. And just to recap, Mr. Scholes said, we are here for 2 reasons tonight. The first of which is regarding a ZBA decision that was made in 1989 that allowed the 2-family to become a 3-family with the stipulation that no exterior changes were made. We're requesting relief from that stipulation. And the second thing we are here for tonight is requesting an extension of an existing non-conforming structure. Currently, where the house sits on the lot is about 53 feet wide. The side yard setbacks are 30 feet, which leaves no buildable area. So we are just looking to extend within the existing footprint, going no closer to any of the setbacks. If you would like to go through the slides, I can describe the project in a little more detail.
Sure.
So
So you've submitted a number of photos, and we have renderings.
yes.
But yeah, maybe just give us a brief summary as
Sure.
to what physical changes are gonna happen to the house. I know you already stated
Yeah.
it won't get any larger of a footprint, but I believe you're building up, correct?
Correct. So there will be, actually, at the first floor level, the only expansion would be to the open porch, but that is not required for approval, but it is shown on the drawings. At the second level, there is a minor expansion you can see at the right of the screen, where the shaded area is. It just pretty much matches the footprint at the existing first floor. Just looking to kind of match that so the two units can be the same, have a little more space. And then at the third floor level, you can see those shaded areas as well. We're just looking to expand a little bit, mostly for ease of construction, to be a more efficient project. When they initially started the project, there wasn't an intention to do the third story now, but when they were doing demolition, there was a lot of leakage in the roof. They had to replace it anyway, and if they're going to be doing that work, they'd like to gain a little more space to that third floor. So as you can see from the drawing, pretty minimal expansion, and actually in front of those stairs isn't going to be habitable space. It's just to get a window into that stair. So the actual expansion to that footprint is minimal. And then you can actually see at the back, it's that same deck at all three levels, and that is actually something that they were initially given approval for before the town realized that 1989 decision had been made. So it was suggested that we bring this to the meeting as well.
That's what triggered you to come here
Correct.
on that
Yes.
issue anyway.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is one of the existing photos, front of the building. As you can see, it's in pretty bad state of disrepair, and the intention is to bring this up to the standard that it should be in town and make a nice building out of this. So this is the proposed extension, that front gable that I was talking about, that it's not really habitable space behind it. It's just getting some aesthetics and getting a window into that, to that stairway. And you can see on the right of the page, the max building height, which is to the mean roof level. We are well below that, so we're not trying to do anything over the top with that expansion. On the side, it just shows where that existing ridge is. So trying to gain a couple of feet there, a little more usable space. You also see that expansion at the second floor, that little nook that just matches the first floor level, and then the deck at the back. And then the small shed dormer off the back, that would just be a more efficient use of space and a more efficient build as well. And pretty much the reverse of the opposite side of the house, just to give you an idea of where the existing ridge is and where it's going to now, as well as where it relates to the maximum height.
Okay.
And a couple of perspective images, just to show, the extent to which they hope to renovate this place and bring it up to the standard of the neighborhood. And then I have some photos of surrounding buildings. I don't know if, I know
No, I
that
don't
they
think
were
we
just
need
getting
to, I
passed
mean, if
around,
that comes
but,
up in the discussion,
yeah.
we can refer to them, but.
Just wanted to have
It
them
looks
on
pretty-
hand just in case.
It looks pretty
but-
clear what you're trying to do.
Okay. So
Is that it? Do you have
yep.
anything else you want to present?
Nope, that's the extent of the presentation, so any questions you may have, I'm happy to answer.
Very good. I'll start down here with you, Ken.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have one question. If you didn't have these three decks in the back, would you have two means of egress for each unit?
So the existing second means is in that back hallway, but it is very tight. None of it conforms to code, so this would be much safer. So yes, the intention for that is to be the
Two
second means of egress.
Okay, that's my only question. Thank you.
Thanks, Ken. And Ken Javin.
Do you currently have sprinkler systems?
Not currently, but that is part of what we had to do for the the inspector, so they will be getting
Yeah,
sprinkler
because
systems.
back in 1989, that may not have been
Right,
part of the rules.
right, yeah.
And then, so that also triggers, you have to see, talk to site planning.
I
As well?
wasn't aware of that.
I think so.
I don't believe this requires site plan review. I could be wrong, but I don't believe that's the only, that's not the trigger that would do it.
Oh, I thought it would be, three units or more, I thought triggered site planning. I mean, that's just what I thought, I don't know.
I will confirm that.
Okay. Well, yeah, if you could just look into that, thank you
I think
very
it's
much.
if it's net new 3 units is what I think it is, but, so if it's net 3
Okay.
new, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think going
So-
from 2 to 3 doesn't trigger it.
Well,
Okay.
this isn't even going from 2 to 3, this
Three,
is staying a 3.
It's already 3.
So it's already a
Already
3-family, it's just an expansion of an existing, so I don't, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Any additional?
Nope, that's it.
Corinne?
I actually think that because it's 3 and it now needs to have a sprinkler system, as part of the building process, it has to go through the fire department, correct? So that's who will like monitor that, correct?
Yeah, no, obviously, the building code is, they're still going through and that's what was flagged under the original permit, I would imagine, when they just tried to do the decks. So the building code is, still there.
Okay.
Yep.
And one question, what is the total square footage of the lot? The deed kind of got cut off at the bottom where that information is, so I'm just curious as to what the total square footage.
Of the lot or the building, Corinne?
Square footage
The
wise,
lot.
I'm not sure off the top of my head, but it is 0.76 acres.
Okay,
It's probably like 38,000 square feet.
It's coming from the
Sorry.
deed guy, he's saying
Yeah.
38,000.
About that.
okay.
He's probably off by 100 feet,
Yeah.
so. Any additional questions, Corinne?
Yes, so you already have 3 apartments existing.
Correct.
Are any of them owner occupied or are they all rental?
They're all going to be rental.
Okay.
Okay, that answers
Thank
that.
you.
Thank you, Corinne. And I'm going to attempt to go back out to you, Jeff. If you can hear me. I don't think Jeff has us still. Jeff? Do you have any questions, Jeff?
So we're still not doing any audio out?
Okay.
All right, we'll try to come back to Jeff. Maybe I'll open it to public comment. I will also ask my questions as well. So one of them was answered already for me. And the stairs aren't presently there, or they
I
are?
really don't know.
There's an
somehow
existing one-story
getting this to
deck that
hook up.
is pretty much fallen down at
So
this
that
point.
entire deck will be torn off, and
Correct.
this is all new
Yes,
construction? Okay.
correct.
And parking for this building, is it where this construction dumpster is shown in this photograph? Is that,
That's part of it, but there actually is pretty extensive, so kind of where I'm standing taking that photo,
yeah.
there is plenty of parking back there.
Well, when you say plenty, what's that equal?
If I had to guess, probably enough for close to 8 spaces.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think he,
I think
And
that
there's also a lot of,
for the guy who's coming in.
a lot of shrubbery and stuff
I
on
don't
the
think he's
lot
seeing-
that could be
hearing anything.
cleared for more, but I'd be surprised if they needed
It's not
that.
Whatever,
All right, I think if I'm correct, it's two
Two
per
Per.
unit, correct?
Yeah.
So the requirement would be 6, so if you're saying there's 8,
Yes.
then we're fine.
now I'm
Okay.
seeing the camera. I'm seeing-
Anyone else
seeing the
follow-up
video.
questions?
No video,
I will go out to the public on this. We are here on 144
nothing is working.
High Street. Anyone would like to be heard or
There's no
speak?
video
Yes.
feed or audio feed.
And if we do get Mr. Sauer up and online, we'll go to him after public comment.
Bill Rad, Street Town Meeting Member, Precinct 1. One concern I have is the original permit was issued in 1989, will there be a review period while this construction is going on?
There's
How
no
long
video
will it take?
at all.
How
Usually
often might it be
You
checked?
can't video.
I mean, I don't know what the time for the work is to set up maybe a 2 or 3 month, if it's going to take so many years to complete this project.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bratzer, you're asking if, is there a review period?
This project, I don't know how long it's going to take to be done.
Okay.
Depending on that time period, would a review
So,
halfway through,
From
quote
out, but
unquote,
either
Just
way,
wasn't
every
working.
3 months or 2 months, which we have had for other projects, to make sure what is going on is proceeding.
video feed is the.
Well, we can, I don't know if we've typically done that in a residential situation, but we could ask the applicant about that, if they'd be willing to do something like that. I guess my question back to you would be, what would you like to be reviewed? The process of construction?
Yes, from beginning to end.
So that's
How
what the
long
building,
is, how long is it?
I'm sorry, that's what the building inspector does.
Yeah, I think that's in there.
That's their job.
And, okay,
Yeah, so I
stand
think,
corrected, I believe that in other, maybe it's the planning board, but when a job is projected to last 12 months, 15 months, whatever, they decide on a period of review to see if the project is proceeding to plan by reviewing
well, I
the
think the
project.
permit would be opened by the applicant to do
Right.
the construction, and it's upon the contractor to then hit all the check steps with the inspections department with plumbing, electrical, et cetera, along the way. And then at some point, the permit gets closed out. So I think that's kind of an ongoing review by the planning, not by the planning, but by inspection services.
So my question, is that referring to commercial property then, and not a residential property?
Yeah, I think
I
that's,
see a head being nodded, so
yeah.
my error.
I believe that's,
I was just that the 1989 was what caught my attention.
well, the 1989 decision said there would be no expansion. We did look back for minutes on this, or I did request it, and there none exist, unfortunately. All that exists is the decision. So we're, you know, one of the things that triggered them to be here is that decision said no expansion. So we're here to determine, is this expansion more detrimental or not to the neighborhood?
Okay?
And that's where we would overturn the 1989 decision for all intents and purposes. The finding is just increasing the nonconformity, which already exists,
All right.
if all that makes sense.
I stand corrected, and thank you.
You got it. Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard on 144 High Street? And can we go out to Jeff? Or
Yeah, Jeff is still
we're
saying.
going to
no
have to
audio.
pass on Jeff? I can check my phone and see if he texted any questions.
We're chatting with him.
You guys are.
Yeah.
You want to ask him if he has any questions?
He can't hear or see, he can't hear anything.
Oh, so he's in the dark,
That's
but
the
we can
problem.
hear him.
Yeah, so.
I got it. Well, I can go back to the applicant here. You're afforded a full board of 5. And even though our 5th member is, as you can see, joining us online, he's unable to be heard or voted, on this case, because I'm going to move forward without him unless they get it working. So if you could come back up to the mic, we will deliberate and see how things are going, and you can tell me if you want to move forward. How about that?
Sure.
Okay, so I'll close the public hearing, and Ken, I'm going to go back to you for deliberations.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think this project is fine. You're not even going to be able to see the decks in the back, to be honest with you. I think the renderings of the new outside of the house is going to look great, especially on that street, which a bunch of houses need a little bit of help, but I'm a yes.
Thank you, Ken. Ken J.
I'm a yes, too. I think it will like you said, it's in some disarray, and it would look a lot better when you're done. The renderings look very nice and
Thank you.
stuff, so. And then you're going about everything the correct way, so I'm a yes.
Thank you, Ken. Corinne?
I'm a yes, too. I think the renderings look great, and I think it will be an upgrade to the neighborhood.
Thank you, Corinne. And we still don't have Jeff, I'm going to assume. We don't have Jeff, so I'm going to skip over Jeff. I too believe, I'm a little confused by the 1989 decision on the limitation on Y. However, it's already a 3-unit building, and I don't see this as invasive to the neighborhood or, you know, expanding the building in such a way that it's, the lot's all building and not any lot. So I do agree with my fellow board members that this would be an enhancement. It's an opportunity to make this building definitely more attractable. Seems to fit well with the neighborhood, so I would vote in favor for this. So you do have the votes, so we don't have to cross that bridge on whether you wanted a full panel of 5. So if I could ask for a motion, please.
I will make the motion in regard to 144 High Street, docket number 23-5035. A motion is made to modify a previously issued special permit, docket number 2280, to modify condition number 1. There shall be no exterior changes to the building, and that the municipal water and sewer shall not become overloaded by the proposed use. The public street shall not become overloaded by proposed use. The value of the land and buildings will not be depreciated by the proposed use. The specific site is an appropriate location for the use of structures. The use developed will not adversely affect the neighborhood. There will not be an undue nuisance or serious hazard to vehicles or pedestrians, and adequate and appropriate facilities will be provided to ensure the proper operation of the proposed use, structure, and condition. The proposed use or structure will be in harmony with the general purpose of this bylaw.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
We have-
Congratulations. Oh, we got a
we-
finding now, sorry.
We have a second motion to issue a finding under section 3.11.B.1 to extend an existing non-conforming structure that is non-compliant with respect to side and front setbacks. The extension or enlargement is appropriate in scale and mass for the neighborhood.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now you have it. Good
Thank you
luck. Good luck with your
Thank you very
project.
much.
Yes.
You're all set. Could I get a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
And seconded?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good night,
Good
Danvers.
night, Danvers.
Good night.
That was quick.